Senator Fawcett.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Trade, Tourism and Investment, Senator Birmingham. Minister, how is the government delivering certainty for Australian exporters by growing export markets, including through seeking a free trade agreement with the European Union?
Minister for Trade, Tourism and Investment, Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr President. I thank Senator Fawcett for his question. Of course, as chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade, his very strong interest in advocacy in relation to all matters trade, business, export, growth, and of course across the foreign affairs and defence portfolios. In relation to Australia's negotiations with the European Union, we seek an ambitious and comprehensive free trade agreement. We do so because the EU offers a potential market of more than 500 million customers to Australian businesses. And despite very significant trade restrictions that those Australian businesses already face, the EU is our second largest trading partner and a significant export partner already. So the scope for growth is real if we can manage to see removal and reduction of tariffs, an increase or elimination of quota volumes. What is really important is to make sure we get a great deal for our farmers and businesses, and the Australian government, the coalition government, is committed to do that, as we have done in all of our other trade negotiations. And industry knows this. We've been very pleased by the reaction from industry as we've worked through this. The Australia-EU Red Meat Access Task Force has described this FTA as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Business Council of Australia has identified opportunities for farmers and businesses in relation to government procurement markets and, of course, that trade sustains 1 in 5 Australian jobs, and that's the opportunity that we seek to realise to keep those jobs and to grow further employment opportunities in the future. And there are many businesses, such as Almond Co in our state of South Australia, Senator Fawcett, or Premium Fresh in Tasmania, or Macadamia's Direct in subtropical northern New South Wales. These are the types of businesses who have identified that they can gain by growing market access into the European Union. They can be able to export more goods, and in exporting more goods, ensure an increase in revenue into Australia, create more jobs, sustain more jobs, pay more taxes, create the opportunities that is making Australia stronger into the future.
Senator Fawcett, a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Minister, you're aware that the European Union has required that we issue a list of geographical indicators that they wish to protect. That has caused some concern amongst some of my constituents, particularly people in the dairy industry. Could you outline the process that the government has taken to this and reassure them that our approach will support our interests?
Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr President. As part of our negotiations, we have recently published a list of EU-requested terms. There are 236 terms relating to spirits products and 172 relating to agricultural or other food names. In publishing this, it's important to identify, firstly, what's not on the list, because there are a number of concerns that existed in relation to this. We are not being asked to protect a number of names that our dairy industry in particular had been concerned about. For example, brie, mozzarella, Edam, Gouda, pepperoni, provolone, cheddar and, of course, camembert. We do acknowledge, though, that there are concerns in relation to products such as feta and parmesan. These are genuine concerns, and I emphasise we have made no commitments to the EU other than to publish this list of names. No commitments. We want to hear directly from Australian industry so that we can advocate emphatically on their behalf, and that's why I have been visiting and meeting with many dairy industry representatives, and that we will continue to make sure we get the best possible.
Senator Fawcett, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the minister inform the Senate of the latest trade statistics and what they show about the government's plan for strong economic growth?
Senator Birmingham.
Mr President, we continue to pursue these negotiations. They're about building on a proven method of success. Our trade agreements have created record levels of exports, record trade surpluses for Australia, and it's because of the network of free trade agreements that we have struck as a nation with our North Asian economies in Japan, Korea, China, through the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which, of course, we should never forget that those opposite said of the TPP we should just give up and walk away when the United States said to give up on it. But we didn't. We negotiated, we secured the deal, and in doing so we've struck the first ever opportunities for trade agreements between Australia and Mexico, between Australia and Canada, as well as ensuring continued elimination of trade barriers for many of our goods that have seen our goods exports to China, to Japan, to Korea, to ASEAN countries, all grow significantly compared with the previous year. Strong growth right across these markets, fuelling job opportunities and a stronger economy for all Australians.
Senator Birmingham, time for the answer has expired.
That is not an